have a monkey in your pants?
Right guys, this is a video response to Paul Bradley. It was 10 random gaming questions and answers. I've got no idea how I missed this video. He put it up a few days ago and I just caught wind of it tonight, so to speak, so I thought I would make a quick response. Still a wee bit got the man flu, but I've had a shave, I've cut my beautiful hair. I'm probably still wearing the same clothes that I wore for the last 3 days and I stink because I've not had a shower yet, but I'm back at work tomorrow, or I think I will be, so it's not fucking Iron Brew, is it? So I'll have a shower probably, and I promise to change my clothes. So video response to Paul Bradley, 10 random gaming questions and answers. I'll put a link down to his original video down below. Please check him out. Feel free to make a video response if you are so inclined feeling, if that makes sense. Bogies and Mr. Dude 206. I'm not going to sneeze in this video. So the question number 1 is Sega or Nintendo? For me, Nintendo. My first sort of proper console after the Atari 2600 was the Game Boy. Heavily into that. Don't get me wrong, I owned a Master System, I owned a Mega Drive, excuse me, but I massively fell in love with the Super Nintendo. As far as I'm concerned, apart from the Spectrum, it's the all-time greatest gaming machine ever made. I'm still not sure where it comes in line with the Spectrum, what's on top, probably changes now and again, but that is my answer. Nintendo. I just couldn't get on with Sega. The sound department when you compare it to the Nintendo, it made my ears bleed. I didn't like it. Horror games, lights on or off? This is question number 2. Lights fucking on, seriously. Quite a few years ago, when I lived in a flat in Edinburgh, there was an Aliens or Aliens vs Predator or something like that game out on the PC, and I mean quite a few years ago now. You could play as the alien or a facehugger even, or a marine, and even that game fucking shit me up, and it probably wasn't even a proper horror game. Things like Slender and whatever, I can't play games like that. The fear games, fucking hell, I cannot. That shits me right up. The fucking, I don't even know what this thing is, but the girl in the white robe with the long hair, that lights on. I probably 9 out of 10 times won't play a scary game, but lights on if I really have to. Same way with scary movies. I can watch them with the lights off, but I have to have somebody with me. I will never watch them by myself. But lights on, lights off for horror games, lights on. Sony or Microsoft? Ooh, Sony. Originally had a PS1. I sort of skipped PS2. I loved the PS1. I skipped the PS2. At that point I switched over to PC gaming. I got an Xbox One original then. I downloaded and burned games for whatever, and then I primarily did have an Xbox 360, but then I jumped over to Sony, the PS3, back and forth. But for me, I think such a strong nostalgic side of things with the PlayStation 1 for me, and the PS3 I think done amazingly at the end of its life. It's not dead yet, but you know what I mean, some amazing first party games, and obviously I've got the PS4 now as well, so Sony. Question number 4, sports games in your collection. Well, does this mean, do I have sports games, or would I buy sports games for my collection? Does that make sense? Would I buy FIFA now for the PlayStation 4? No. I probably would buy that basketball game though. But as for collecting, like the SNES collecting, sort of the main sort of thing, I will buy sports games. I won't go out my way to buy them, but if I come across them, I will buy them as part of the collection. But actively going out and buying FIFA 2015 or whatever, no. Gaming food. Question number 5, gaming food, question mark. I should do it this way, it's probably backwards for you. I tend to not generally eat that much when I'm gaming. I usually sort of game last thing at night once kids are in and away to bed and the wife's buggered off to bed, and whatever. And I always feel if I was to eat and then touch my controller, it would get dirty. That sounds a bit sad, but it's the truth. But if I was really, if I had to say a food, it would probably be Doritos. Cheesy Doritos. Or the blue ones. Cool flavour Doritos, whatever they are. Doritos. Question number 6, gaming drink. Now, this one's pretty obvious. It's gonna be... Is it gonna be that? It has to be. Irn-Bru. Scottish people, 3% of the blood is Irn-Bru. It's the truth, you know. Question number 7, multiplayer or single player? Probably primarily single player. For example, even if I've got the latest Call of Duty, I'll still play through all the single player campaign. Same with Battlefield, I'll still play through all the single player campaign, and then I will have a play with a multiplayer. But like yourself, Paul, a lot of the games nowadays, I really like to get involved with the story, and you can sort of take your time and work your way through the game and get involved with it, which I find more enjoyable than going online and 9 out of 10 times getting your ass handed to you by some spotty fat kid sitting in his bedroom somewhere, masturbating with one hand, eating Doritos with the other, and playing with his joystick with his other hand. I know that's 3 hands, but you know what I mean. Single player, primarily, over multiplayer for me. DLC, yes or no? Question number 8. DLC, it's one of those things recently, isn't it? Yes, if a developer releases a game and then 6 months later they go, oh, we've got this DLC for you, we've just created it last month, it's like cheap and it's going to add extra value to your game. But no, if, was it one of the Street Fighter games, Capcom, they fucking basically put the DLC on the disc. So you took it home, oh, the DLC's already on the disc, you just basically somehow unlock it later. Oh, that's bad. Or if a brand new game's out and like at the point of release there's already a DLC pack sitting waiting to be downloaded. That's bad. They should have included that in the game because they're blatantly just taking the piss. So it's a bit 50-50. Overall, yes, DLC I'd say so, because you're not forced to buy it and it can add additional value or longevity to the game in question. So yes. Gaming Room 101. Basically a game or a gaming franchise, if I could wish never existed, or I wouldn't care if it didn't exist. For me, it would be FIFA, any FIFA, I should say any football games, any FIFA, no. It probably comes from the fact that I'm not a massive football fan. If I'm flicking through channels on the TV and I see a football game on, I'm like, oh, I might watch it if I recognise the name of a team. But otherwise, no, I'll never ever buy probably a modern, current gen FIFA game. Just doesn't really interest me. It doesn't float my boat, so to speak. So, Gaming Room 101. See, I'm still got the man flu. Either game or franchise for me, if I didn't care if it existed or not, FIFA. Question number 10. Shout out a channel you're enjoying right now. Paul, you shouted out me as one of the 2 channels that you mentioned. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. But a channel that I'm personally enjoying right now is a chap called Preston Thomas. I'll put a link down to his channel down below. Reason being, I'm having a look at the screen there, it's all ZX Spectrum stuff. Oh, it's quite YouTube, and anybody who likes the Spectrum, in my eyes, is my brother. That's right. In the Spectrum are going to take over the world war. That's right. PS4's going to bomb. Xbox One's going to bomb. It's going to be the resurgence of the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. We will rise again. Yes, we will. It's the second time I've done that in this video, isn't it? But that's me, guys. I'll put a link down to Paul's original video down below. Please check him out. Feel free to make a video response. Also put a link down to Preston Thomas's channel down below. Thank you much for this video, Paul. Always enjoy shit like this that gets the community involved, and you get to do a bit of video responses to it. Excuse me, I'm still feeling a bit like shit, but that's my video response to Paul Bradley's 10 random gaming questions and answers. Thank you much for watching, and I'll catch you next time, guys.
Do you have a monkey in your pants?